Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, May 27th, going into a 3-day weekend, so it's going to be lit. Welcome to your morning daily cyber threat briefing. I'm Gerald Auger, and over the next 30 minutes, we are going to be tearing into the top cybersecurity news of the day and providing expert analysis on each of these stories. What it means to you as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break into the industry, we got you taken care of. Shout out and thanks to this stream sponsor, Barricade Cyber Solutions. Cyber criminals have stolen your company's data and derailed your business operations. Barricade Cyber Solutions will help you resolve this ransomware attack and get your business back on track. Special thanks to Eric Taylor, the CEO over Barricade Cyber Solutions, not just for sponsoring the stream, but also being part of that amazing panel who ran the daily cyber threat briefing this past week as I took a little bit of time for myself. I want to remind you, if you hold professional certifications that require CPEs, I just saw someone yesterday message me, got their CISA, right? Maybe you got your CISP. Each episode of the daily cyber threat briefing is worth half a CPE. So that's 2.5 a week, 10 a month. They stack up. Make sure you document literally the easiest, and I would argue the most enjoyable way to earn CPEs. Just say good morning in chat. And if your name is there, you can be like, look, that's me. I was there every day. Get up off my back. If you are live, love it. I see 46 of you already in here, bumping in, grabbing your coffees, getting your teas, settling in for a good morning threat briefing. Thank you for being here. If you're watching on replay, definitely appreciate you taking the time. Take a moment, say what's up in the comments, not just to document your attendance, but also just to engage with the community. If you want to jump right to the news, when that ticker in the corner gets to 0, we will start the briefing. So feel free to scrub to the right till the 0 and dive in. But for the next 2 minutes and 41 seconds, I will be very happily welcoming people into stream. Good morning, Ed. Hey, Alfredo. Chinadu, good to see you. Richard B. Home. Will Reed. That's right, man. Smash that like button. You got it. Hey, Spastic. How you doing? Claudio. Thank you very much for the welcome back, guys. Hey, Scott Bush. Good to see you upstate. It's raining like something gnarly here right now, so hopefully the upstate's good. What's up, Josh Mason? Also, shout out and thanks to Josh Mason for co-hosting the cyber briefing while I was out for a couple days. Thanks for the welcome back, Ryan. Good to see you. Hey, Chris Weaver. Good morning. Not only IT, I see you. Hey, Carrie. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I saw Jax. Josh, I didn't tune in for the briefings and lurk. I did on the first day. By the way, the first day, that first story about the Bank of Zambia sending inappropriate pics to ransomware threat actors, that story had me cracking up. I shared that with a lot of people in my social network. Hey, Philip. Hey, John De La Cruz. Anna Lynn, good to see you. Canada representing. Donald Smith from Tampa up in here. I love it. Let's get some background music, guys. So I've really got to... you guys are going to see a little bit of behind the curtain today. So, you know, if you're a longtime member of Simply Cyber community, you know, CyberSec Mom with the super chat. Let me bust this in here. Thank you, CyberSec Mom. Always nice to have the support. Always great to see you in chat. I actually will be reaching out to you later today about that augmented reality project. I definitely want to engage with you on that effort. So thank you very much for the super chat. You're the best. Hey, Wesley, good to see you. Professor Black Ops, Jess Bishops. Guys, it's Friday, 3-day weekend. I don't know about you, but where I live, like next week is my kids' last week of school. And like the agenda for them is absurd. Like, I mean, to call it school is like so much in air quotes. It's silly. Guys, a little look behind the curtain this week or today. CISOseries.com has not published the blog post, so I don't know what the stories are to get them queued up with the web pages. So as we're listening to them, because I didn't have time to do it in advance, because I don't listen to it in advance, as we're listening to it, I'll be pulling it up. So a little bit of an additional production effort on my part today, but that's okay. We'll get through it. We'll have a good time. We'll learn something. We'll high five, and then we'll go into a 3-day weekend. Neil's not doing TO with a hacker. Got it. Oh my God, guys, I love the coffee. I did I did not have access to this rocket fuel while I was away, and it was noticeable. Guys, thanks again, by the way, before we get into the threat briefing, thanks again for really being really great and really supportive of Jax, Josh, and Eric as they ran the threat briefing. I thought they did a fantastic job. I thought you guys were wonderful, and I'm just happy that it can continue to persist even if I'm not present, right? Because sometimes I can't be there, but I want this information to continue to go out. So that's what I'm loving. All right, so let's get some Mario coins. I'm like slowly easing back into doing all this. So let's go. All right, so guys, if you want to play along, you can go to cisoseries.com. Now, again, they don't have the 27th listed. So let me give it one more shot. Nope. So we're going to be doing it on the fly with ourselves. So that, I have no idea how this is going to go, but we'll figure it out. Okay, guys? Here we go.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
It's Friday, May 27th, 2022. Up to 83% of known compromised passwords would satisfy regulatory requirements. On Tuesday, SpecOps, a provider of password management and authentication solutions, released findings from its latest research of over 800 million known compromised passwords. The findings showed that up to 83% of passwords that appear in compromised password databases would satisfy regulatory password standards. The passwords were compared to the regulatory standard rules of NIST, HIPAA, PCI, GDPR, and the UK's National Cybersecurity Centre. The full report is available at specopssoft.com. Broadcom confirmed.
Okay, so here's the deal on this one, guys. Passwords are terrible. Passwords are terrible. Okay, I'll just put it plain out there. Okay, we're not mincing words today. Okay, here's the deal. Passwords are easy to break. They're involved in password dumps all the time. They stink for end users to remember, right? You yourself probably reuse certain passwords, right? We have password vaults, which are the answer for mitigating the risk of password compromises and stuff. But the learning curve and the adoption curve for password managers is high. If anyone in chat uses a password manager, you know as well as I do, the second you get over the adoption curve, it's like smooth sailing. It's like going through a little bit of a white rapid, and then you end up in a placid lake. Once you're on a password vault, it's awesome. It's so awesome. But people are reluctant to get into that, especially if they're tech adverse. So what this report found, which by the way, I love the angle that this is a password manager vendor, but they actually compare it to regulatory standards. So they're not just speculating how crappy people's passwords are. 83% of crappy passwords would meet regulatory requirements, which by the way, reinforces that compliance is not security. Okay, I'm a big GRC guy. Compliance has its place and its purpose and its intent, but maximum compliance equals minimum security. Okay, period, end of story. And this is one tangible example that you can point to and be like, this is why compliance isn't that great for risk mitigation. Now, what I will say, and this is something just like I've been trying to push cyber resiliency as a term instead of cybersecurity, password is entrenched in our society. You cannot get away from enter your password, right? Two things are going to happen. One, I want the word passphrase to succeed password, because passphrases are way easier to remember and they're way more secure. Okay, a passphrase being like, I listen to the Simply Cyber's daily threat briefing every day. That's like a 75 character password with spaces, capital letters. There was no number, but trust me, no one's going to break a 75 character password, right? And you know how to remember that passphrase, right? So anyways, I'm a champion of that. Also worth pointing out, I'm about to get published in some Harvard Business Review article. I did this talk maybe in February. It's actually annoying to me that they haven't released it yet, but they did this talk in February of moving to passwordless authentication, what that looks like as an industry at the macro level, and everything around passwordless authentication. And if you don't know, Microsoft on the Windows platform is pushing heavily for passwordless authentication. If you run Windows 10 or Windows 11, you know exactly how many options they give you to log in that isn't a password, right? Yes, Anna Lynn knows what's up with that Cyber Oprah. You get a pass raise. You get a pass raise. Yes. All right, let's keep going.
Deal to acquire VMware. Following up on a story we brought you on Tuesday, chipmaker Broadcom has ended days of speculation about its plans to acquire VMware by confirming it is on course to purchase the virtualization and multi-cloud software firm for $61 billion.
Yeah,
in a
no
statement
big deal.
outlining the terms and conditions of the deal, the company said that the Broadcom software group will be renamed VMware and their software portfolios will effectively be merged. Expert.
Okay, so, you know, I guess just from the shooting from the hip, when I think of Broadcom, I think of chip maker. When I think of VMware, I think of hypervisor solutions, right? Well entrenched in that market. So it's not surprising if you think of like the way that different major vendors are diversifying their portfolio and their service offering. This makes sense because this isn't overlap with Broadcom's hardware business model, but it complements it, especially if they're putting Broadcom chips in solutions that come prepackaged with VMware. I just don't, to me, I don't know. This doesn't really like jump off the plate as like obvious what the deal is here, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm just kind of looking through this. Like, see, yeah, Broadcom's a chip maker. Whatever. I guess for me, this is just a way for one business to diversify their portfolio to help manage risk, right? Like chips right now, the supply chain is really hard for chip makers to push out new chips, which are used in technology, IoT, all this other stuff, right? If you work in a business and you are hooked into IT, you know very well how difficult ordering replacement hardware is, right? So like laptop refreshes, tablet refreshes, these type of things, it's very difficult right now. So actually, now that I'm talking about it, it's starting to make sense. Maybe they can make like a this will go towards making kind of virtualized desktop interface solutions. I know we're seeing that with Microsoft Azure offering that. So instead of getting Windows 10 box, you get a thin client and your Windows 10 or 11 OS is up in Azure. Obviously, it requires internet connectivity all the time. But my point is, I don't see this really impacting the cybersecurity world for me too much. I'd love to see chat's comments afterwards.
Warn of rise in Chrome loader malware. A malvertising threat is witnessing a new surge in activity since its emergence earlier this year. Dubbed Chrome Loader, the malware is a pervasive and persistent browser hijacker that modifies its victims' browser settings and redirects user traffic to advertisement websites. This, according to Aidan Russell of Red Canary in a new report. Chrome Loader is a rogue Chrome browser extension and is typically distributed in the form of ISO files via pay-per-install sites and baited social media posts that advertise QR codes to cracked video games and pirated movies.
Okay. And thanks to the mods for like feeding me the news stories in advance here. Okay, guys, couple things. If you use Chrome, and this isn't Chrome exclusive, but this is for Chrome only, but the technique that we're about to talk about can be done across the major browsers, okay? By the way, it looks like Jeremy S. just joined the squad. Thanks to the squad support. Welcome. Take advantage of all those emotes, man. Get that Cyber Oprah going. Okay, so check it out. I have seen this firsthand quite a bit. And if you've worked any SecOps in the last couple years, you definitely have seen this too. These are, I would call this more like if a really angry killer bee was ransomware, like Chrome loader extension malware are more like really annoying gnats, right? Like they're going to compromise the endpoint. For the most part, I haven't seen massive elevation of privileges. I haven't seen going from the browser down into the operating system. I'm sure there is functionality like that, but I haven't seen it. Usually what I see with these things is malicious extension, and then it starts doing crypto mining, right? Do I have any crypto? Yeah. So you get some crypto mining going, and then, you're done. What you should know about this is it is an infection point. It can compromise that experience. And the way that it's going to happen, this is a great opportunity to discuss with your end users. Typically, they're going to go somewhere. Now, in the story, they said it's for like crack software and all that stuff, which is, yeah, like obviously people are just going to be clicking through. So advise your staff and family or whoever you're concerned with helping secure that, like, don't steal software, especially kids, right? Like 12 to 16, they're going to be the ones who are doing this all over the place. Don't steal software. Don't crack software. This is one way, but I've also seen it where it's like, oh, I'm trying to find a worksheet on how to do like a startup process for this piece of machinery, right? Like whatever it is. I'm new to here. I know that there's a process. I can't find the process. I Google it. It pops up. And what threat actors will do is the list will be there, but there'll be a pop-up that they, this paper pop-up, paper infection. And the pop-up will say, hey, you need this extension in order to view this document or whatever, which is total crap. But the person, if you think about the way that you're going through, you're just like Google, click, 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 click. Like, I want to see this. Oh, add an extension to see it. Click, 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 click. People just click through it, right? It is a form of social engineering, but the level to overcome is pretty low because the person wants whatever this is. So they are going to click through it. So just be mindful of what the infection execution looks like. And you'll see it on EDR solutions. Like the major EDR solutions will catch this type of infection on an endpoint. And then obviously, if you have more of a SecOps capability with a SIM, network logs, you will, and those indicators of compromise, those IP addresses for malicious network will catch, right? But I will say, in my experience, it's easy. It's on the easier side to remedy these things. You get in, you remove the extension. Maybe you like remove Chrome and then reload it. Sometimes you just reimage the machine, but I've never seen this type of infection spread. Someone else has in chat. I'd love to hear it, but I haven't seen it.
Google shuts down caching servers at 2 Russian ISPs. 2 Russian internet service providers have received notices from Google that the global caching servers on the network have been disabled. A caching server is an ISP-bound node for serving Google content faster to subscribers and maintaining high access reliability even during outages. The caching is most important for popular YouTube content that ISPs can store on servers and load more quickly, giving their subscribers a better connection experience. Russian news outlets have attempted to confirm which entities have been affected by this sudden move and verified that Radio Svyaz, which is also called Focus Life, and MIPT Telecom are the ones currently affected by this decision.
Okay. So, basically, if you know, the way that, like, it's Google isn't, and YouTube and all these things, Amazon, it's not like one web server on the internet and everybody's banging on it, right? They're distributed. There's duplicative sets of data everywhere because they want to serve it wicked fast to you. And basically, this is just further, I don't want to say fallout, but further impact, to use a GRC term, further impact of what happens when real sanctions take real effect on society, right? So Google, major player in the game, they're disabling caching services. So, I would think all this means, because it's the caching services or servers, is that they might have lag. They may have, a decline in quality of service. So, I wouldn't say this is a major story, but I guess it further shows that this is impacted. Now, I was doing a couple different things, so I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so Google did, in fact, disconnect it themselves. For a second, I was wondering if maybe Ukraine's IT army had knocked this out to further kind of cripple Russia's capabilities, but it seems like this was much more of a business decision, and Google deciding that we're all in on sanctioning or not doing business in Russia. So, yep. Caching service reduces external traffic between 70 and 90%. So that's interesting. So not only is it going to be poor quality of service for using Google services, but the highway, to use a term from the 90s, if you're as old as me, the information superhighway is going to have a lot of cars on it, because you're not going to have like the highway bypass of the Google caching service. All that traffic is going to be on the same pipe or information superhighway. So that'll actually lead to congestion and quality impacts for other services, not just Google stuff, right? Because only so much data can go through a pipe, and they're not going to have the local access, so they have to go externally to get it. So that's really interesting. Here, I just want to, this is just a callback for for anyone in chat who's older. This right here, this is it. Hold on, get my face out of here. This guy, yes, this was like the text that you'd learn how to like use the internet when you were a kid. Very much. This is how it looks. You write a keyboard holding the mouse as like as a tether. It's how we did it in the 90s. All right. Hey, real quick, we've got a commercial break here. Guys, I just want to share this with you because Integer reached out to me, and I really appreciated it. So I wanted to take a moment and say what's up to them. So guys, if I sent this out on LinkedIn the other day, but I want to share it here. If you're going to RSA, if you're going to B-Side San Francisco, either of those, and you want to just take a few minutes and talk with Integer, you can go to the this site and just basically set up a time. So they'll be there. I'm sure they'll probably have some good like goodies or here. I just dropped it in chat. Mod Nightbot's going to drop that for me. If you guys want, it's no commitment or anything, but I use Integer personally in my SecOps capability, which is not as much because I do more CISO stuff, but I do have to do SecOps work periodically. It allows me to do it faster. It gives me a greater efficacy of my ability to determine if something's malicious and what do I need to do with it. They have a ton of functionality that I don't take advantage of because I'm not doing threat hunting in my environment, but you can use the tool to do that. And they have a free version of it, and then you can get the paid one to get more functionality and stuff like that. So anyways, I just wanted to share, if you're going to either of these conferences and you wanted to set up a meeting just to learn a little bit about how it could help you be better at SecOps, faster really is the key element for me that it gives me. Consider going and checking them out. And like I said, I dropped it in chat, so you can get in there if you want. All right, let's roll.
And now let's take a moment to thank today's sponsor, /Zero Trust. That's optiv.com/Zero Trust. New Ermac 2.0 Android malware steals even more accounts and wallets. The Ermac ERMAC Android banking Trojan has released version 2.0, increasing the number of applications targeted from 378 to 467, covering a much wider range of apps to steal account credentials and crypto wallets. The goal of the Trojan is to send stolen login credentials to threat actors, who then, of course, use them to take control of other people's banking and cryptocurrency accounts and conduct financial or other forms of fraud. Ermac is currently sold to members of darknet sites at a subscription rate of $5,000 per month, which is $2,000 over the price tag of the first version, reflecting the upgrade in features and its popularity.
Wow. I mean, dude, like, obviously this is filthy and deplorable, but it just goes to show you how supply and demand and capitalism works. This is a perfect case. Ermac 2, it's an Android malware, so obviously this is exclusive to Android operating systems. If you are using an Android mobile device and you have a cryptocurrency wallet on it, I don't care if it's like MetaMask or Coin Wallet or some, I don't know, open source fringe one that I don't know about, at least 467 different options. If you fall into this category, definitely be mindful of this story and probably what the risk mitigations are. I don't know if multi-factor authentication is going to save you in this case, because sometimes when accessing devices, You get a session token, so you don't have to authenticate again. Maybe it's stealing that. I'm not 100% sure, but it was $2,000 a month. Now it's $5,000 a month. Obviously, there's a huge demand for this, guys. I'm $5,000 a month. All you have to do is rob one person who has at least $5,000, and it pays for itself. So I'm thinking that that's why this is a wildly popular piece of malware and going buck wild, because it's working, frankly. So be mindful of that. Educate your end users. I know this falls typically way outside the borders of corporate information security, but I'll tell you guys, and I said this in the GRC course, if you can personalize the education of information security awareness, like, listen, Carl, I don't want you to get robbed. I know you're screwing up all the time up in here, but listen, I don't want you to get robbed. So this has nothing to do with our business, but I want you to know that this is happening, and here's how you protect yourself. Good on you, Carl. And then, you know what? Because it's personalized, people are going to be more mindful when I tell them something else about anything information security, because they're like, oh, this guy, this girl, definitely interested in my well-being. I can apply these rules. And you're off and running. Dude, I'll just tell you a personal story. I got contacted on Thursday last week from a job I worked at before, because one person's mother got but got taken by these Indian call center scammers talking about Best Buy reimbursement, and how she was in like at least a couple $1,000s of gift cards by the time they contacted me. And they said, we don't know what to do, but we know that you know these things. You help us with these things. I know you don't work here anymore. Can you help us? And I spent about 30 minutes on the phone walking them through what they could do at that point. I mean, a lot of the impact had already occurred, but we took care of it. Okay. And the reason they contacted me is because of personalizing it, right? So anytime you personalize it, you're going to increase the overall quality of end users' awareness of information security and mindfulness of saying something, being part of the solution. So it's huge value, guys. I can't emphasize it enough.
Users of Tails OS warned away until Tor browser flaw is fixed. The maintainers of the Tails project, that stands for the Amnesic Incognito Live System, warn users that the Tor browser bundled with the OS could expose their sensitive information. Tails is a security and privacy-oriented Linux distribution with a portable operating system that protects against surveillance and censorship. The root cause of the alert is two critical zero-day issues tracked as CVE 2022-1802 and 1529 in the Firefox browser that was addressed by Mozilla in May. The vulnerabilities were reported by Manfred Paul during the Pwn to Own 2022 hacking contest that took place in Vancouver last week.
All right, couple things here. One, if you're using Tails, you already know like why you're using it and for privacy. Okay, so I want to first off hat tip, or do I have I don't know if I have no, I don't really have an appropriate sound effect for this, but like this warms my heart. Tails, they're all about privacy. They immediately came out because this leaked last week at Pwn to Own, which, by the way, if you don't know about Pwn to Own, amazing event. Amazing. I haven't been. I'll never go because it's not in my wheelhouse. But the type of research and the type of special security researchers that come out of Pwn to Own are amazing. Amazing. So definitely check out that event. It always blows my mind how unbelievably talented those people are. Tails comes out immediately, does the right thing. This is how vendors should behave. Hey, don't use this product until we get it fixed. There's some real risks here. I highlighted one risk that they included in the advisory. This is ridiculous. After you visit a malicious website, an attacker may be able to access the password or other sensitive information you sent to the website afterwards, right? So you get a, well, hold on. Wait. This is less of a risk to me than I initially thought. Because listen, if I control the website and you send me your password, who cares if I can access it? Like, yeah, of course I'm going to access it. You sent it to me. Huh. So anyways, it definitely looks like there's some type of confidentiality compromise. This makes less sense to me now that I'm saying it out loud and thinking about it. But if you do use Tails, be mindful, and way to go, Tails, for making this like even further makes me want to use it versus what we saw with DuckDuckGo the other day, right? I saw that part of Eric's daily cyber threat briefing where DuckDuckGo is like, oh, we are selling your information. Sorry. So this furthers that for me. So I like that. Be mindful of Tails.
Hotels using NFTs to create a StubHub for lodging reservations. Could there be a more 2022 headline? To avoid getting stuck with excess inventory when guests cancel at the last minute, some hotel owners are now converting room nights for sale into non-fungible tokens, NFTs that can be bought or sold by hotel guests, similar to the StubHub market for concert and sporting event tickets.
Oh my God.
Owners say this ensures that they get paid for the rooms because guests would sell their reservation in the market if they decide not to go, and that it would appeal to the crypto-enthusiastic traveler who might not want to book through traditional means. By using the system, guests can apparently book a room at a discount to what the hotel would charge for a refundable reservation. Suspected.
Okay, listen to me. You are so dumb. This is ridiculous. No one's asking for this. There's no reason for it. Right? Like, okay, so the amount of possible fraud is rife with this. NFTs are already massively fraudulent in many, many use cases. And now hotels are going to do this. What's wrong with what hotels have been doing all this other time? Why am I going to buy an NFT reservation? You're putting the ownership and the onus of that purchase onto the person who made the reservation. If I am making the reservation and I need to cancel because of personal reasons or whatever, why am I going to go on the hook for making sure that that room gets sold? Like, it's like bring me into the transaction when in reality, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call the hotel and say, hey, guess what? You said I had 24 hours before arrival to cancel. It's 72 hours. I'm canceling. It's on you. The only reason to do this would be if you could make some type of money on it. So I rent the room for $150 a night and it like, whatever, it's going to be beautiful that day or something. So now I'm going to be able to sell it for $300. So now you're getting into these fringe secondary market crap, which again, it's going to be rife with fraud. Like, I'm not going to have real access to a real hotel room. I'm going to create an NFT that looks like it is. I'm going to sell it to, who am I going to sell it to? Carl. Right? I'm going to sell it to Carl. Carl's going to buy it. Carl's going to show up in Miami and be like, I'm ready to, get down and, do what, I don't know, what people in Miami do. Right? And they're going to be like, we don't have a hotel room for you, Carl. We're booked up. You bought a crappy NFT. Get off our property. You see what I'm saying? So this is dumb. No one's asking for this. Ridiculous. Why? Ugh.
Email crime boss cuffed in Nigeria. Interpol and police in Africa have arrested a Nigerian man suspected of running a multi-continent cybercrime ring that specialized in business email compromise. The 37-year-old's detention is part of a year-long counter-BEC initiative codenamed Operation Delilah that involved international law enforcement and started with intelligence from cybersecurity companies Group IB, Palo Alto Networks Unit 42, and Trend Micro. According to the organizations involved, Operation Delilah, which began in May 2021, is another success story coming out of Interpol's Cyber Fusion Center, a public-private initiative between law enforcement and industry analysts based in Singapore.
Okay, I'm glad this story showed up. So this is the Nigerian Prince who has all the money that we want to help him get out. So, okay, couple things here. One, anytime that there is large scale kind of ringleader cyber criminal takedowns, I'm all on board. I'll be, like I'm going through the door too. Like, I'll bust through the door. Like, I love this. I'm all in. Okay. Business email compromise, people. You guys, like, we talk about ransomware and I flip out about ransomware all the time, but this is true. Here, look, I'm going to highlight it, right? FBI. Business email compromise is the most costly threat facing organizations globally. Not ransomware, business email compromise. They hit everyone. And while ransomware will be like, $3 million or $10 million, like the big game hunting kind of things, dude, it's not shabby if you get a $140,000 business email compromise or $62,000 business email compromise, right? It's easy money. And people have been doing it. This guy has been running a crime syndicate for a while on it. So I love that they got this criminal off the streets and sent a loud warning to anybody engaging in this type of activity, because there should be consequences for it. So another thing I didn't know about, but definitely worth investigating, right? This Interpol Cyber Fusion Center. Oh, this is interesting. We can't arrest our way out of cybercrime. Well, so this is from April 2022. I'd have to read this article, but guys, I love the idea that there is a law enforcement special task force, or whatever you want to call it, that is basically targeting this type of activity. You know what? We have a radar later today, and I've been out all week, so I haven't had time to really think about any of this. This is probably going to be my radar item. I need to know more about the Interpol Cyber Fusion Center. I love it. Okay. All right. So let me check. According to the mods, that's the last story for the day. I know I've gone a little long, but I missed you guys. I missed you. So let's do that. Okay, guys, a couple things really quick. Oh man, Jim Wales with a squad. Thanks, Jim Wales. Imtiaz Khan. Guys, love it. Welcome to the squad. All right, so later today at 4 p.m., we'll be doing What's on Your Radar. Eric Taylor and myself, and one rotating seat. I'll see if Mike Jones is available. He was going to come on a little while ago and was unable to do it. So if you want to find the upcoming live streams, go to simplycyber.io/streams. I'm going to put it in chat right now. And that should tell you all of the upcoming things. While I have you guys here, I want to, I guess, share something, big news, or maybe it's not big, but news. Okay. I have been working, I've been involved with this project. Okay. And it's going live on Monday. I haven't even mentioned it to anyone. I may have mentioned it to the mods, but if you go to, I don't know if you like Instagram, right? If that's your thing, you can see I'm big into the 80s. Okay, so Gerald, Auger, Simply Cyber, like one word. Guys, I have made multiple attempts at being on Instagram and doing Instagram, and I've sucked at it, honestly. So I've actually engaged some help, and I've got this help helping me, and we've got at least a month's worth of content, and it launches on Monday. So on Monday, this Instagram account is going to start delivering legit value and legit kind of educational and entertainment. And I'm excited about it because I want to reach more people and help more people. And I feel like this Instagram platform has been, it's a great opportunity to reach a new audience or additional audience. And I've just sucked at Instagram, so I needed to get help. So look forward to this. And guys in chat, if there's a better way to like share this or have people find it, let me know, because I literally don't know what I'm doing with this. I just know it's an idea that might help me engage a wider audience. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it. I really appreciate the mods for kind of helping me with queue up the stories in advance. That was much appreciated. Thank you all for being here. Again, 4 o'clock. We may be doing the 3:30 Threat Gen deep dive. I'm not 100% sure. Clint has been very busy this week. I've been out this week, so we may just push. I didn't even do the live stream on Wednesday. Oh, hey, let me share one other thing with you, because if you haven't heard of this is awesome. And by the way, thanks for letting me flip out about that StubHub NFT story. That really went up my tailpipe. Check this out, guys. On Wednesday of next week, so June 1st, hold on, get my face out of here. Hold on one second. I got to get my face out of here so you can see this. Okay. On ThreatGen's channel on June 1st, we're doing the red versus blue cybersecurity threat simulator like I do every Wednesday. But Jess Bishop, Simply Cyber community member, had an awesome idea. I do blue 1 week, red the next week, blue 1 week, red the next week. Sometimes I play against other humans like Josh Mason, Clintbo Dungeon. Sometimes I play the AI. I'll be playing the AI, but I will be offensive and I will be executing exclusively under the TTPs of Wizard Spider, who's really well known as Conti ransomware. So my plan is to attack a pipeline company and ransomware the crap out of them. And I will be using exclusively Wizard Spider TTPs. So if you want to come learn, I'll show you my MITRE ATT&CK framework. I'll show how you can use it to simulate a certain threat actor attacking your environment. And if all things go right, we'll totally pwn that business and laugh all the way to the bank. So if you're interested in learning about MITRE ATT&CK, TTPs, or just hanging out with me as I whoop up on a pipeline company, come join us. That is Wednesday, June 1st at 11:30 a.m. You can go to ThreatGen's YouTube channel, or I can just share this in chat, and you can come over and hang out, and we'll have a good time. I am a Wizard Spider. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll be fun to play that. Thanks, Jess Bishop, for that recommendation and suggestion. All right, guys. It's been fun. Thank you for all the squad support. Thank you to my mods for today, helping me get this sorted out. Thank you to Jax, Eric, and Josh for handling the show while I was out. I don't know if there'll be a Monday Memorial Day show. I hadn't thought about that, actually. I might do one. I might do one because I love it. But stay tuned, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy barbecue. Enjoy your family. Tell someone that's important to you what they mean to you, right? All right, guys. Be good, and we will see you, hopefully, at 4 o'clock for Radar. If not, catch you next week. Cheers, everybody.